All right, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Okay. I'm super excited to start off this season. Season 3, right, Tony?
That's right.
Season 3. Wow, you've had me this long. I'm shocked I'm
Episode
still on
1.
episode 1.
You actually,
3.
did you end up season 1?
I didn't end season 1, did I? No? I think we kind of jumped to me season 2.
You started season 2?
Yeah, we kind of started with me season 2. So now we're starting season 3. It's a new year, 2023. I'm the host, Levi Casada, as usual. You got behind the scenes, Tony Hernandez, the one and only. You'll hear him every once in a while do his thing. But today we're going to start off the new year with a special treat. I'm super excited to introduce you to, I don't even want to say an up-and-comer because he's been in the business for almost 4 years now. He's crushing it. He's with the One Group in San Diego, Esteban Valenzuela. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. Tony, a little clapping. There we go. Let's go.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so
much. So is this your first podcast?
Yeah, it is. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while and just sit down with someone and just have a conversation about this.
Yeah. Just kind of tell your story.
My tell-all.
Your tell-all.
Yeah.
This is going to be all about you today.
Nothing about real estate, just about me.
I mean, if real estate pops up, then we've already plugged real estate. We plugged your group, so we're good. We've talked real estate. We got
That's a cool name, though. The One. Is that the name?
The One Group.
The One Group.
Yeah, it took us a while to find the name.
The One.
Yeah, the One Group. The one name that was right for us.
Yeah.
Since it's Seth Struxma, it's his team, and he didn't want to have like the Struxma Group.
Right.
He said he wanted to be original. I didn't say that. But so eventually we came up with the One Group, and then I had my friend design the logo, which is like one circle. The thought behind it was where the people are going to help you find that one house.
Yeah.
That one thing.
Oh, smart.
That one thing makes it special.
Nice.
Yeah. That was
you can
perfect.
say that you guys are the chosen ones.
Yeah,
You're the chosen one.
Hey, that's right. Look in the camera.
We're not number one. We're the one.
The one.
Yeah, exactly.
To help you find the home.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference. Well, it's good to have you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to start the year off with you.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I didn't know this was the first person, but it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. No, this is great. You didn't know you were going to be the first one?
No.
It's only January, what is it, 4th?
I didn't know it was like an annual thing. It's like it just starts on the 1st, like every year.
No. First Wednesday.
Got it.
You got the first Wednesday.
I love it.
All right. Well, I always like to start the show with an icebreaker. Would you rather? You ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, please.
All right. Tony, you can jump in anytime. These are some crazy ones sometimes.
Ooh, I like those.
Sometimes there's some deep thoughts.
You know, that's the only reason I'm here, you know?
I'm ready to get deep.
Is for the would you rathers are the best.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather be able to read people's minds or control their actions?
That's a tough one because I don't want to hear what everyone's thinking. Like there are some crazy people out there, and their crazy already shows
outside.
Without saying it. Yeah.
So if I would hear what they would have to say, that would change my opinion about them, because I think people are so self-critical.
Yeah.
And they don't say that out loud. On the other side, I'd probably choose controlling them, honestly.
Control their actions.
Yeah, control their actions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there was a fight that broke out in Balboa Park the other day. I had my kids, and I was like, dang, if I could just, like, jump in there and control those guys and be like, hey,
hug it out.
Yeah, it's hug it out. Just hug both those guys out. Yeah,
love,
hey, love, bring it. Yeah, I totally agree. The mind thing, just, and in real estate, you're like, okay, sign those docs.
Oh, yeah.
Sign those documents.
Okay, sign on the dotted line here. I'm your agent. Make things a lot easier.
Control you,
Give a tip, a bonus.
Or also being an agent, you could go in and be like, no, I'm sorry, you're going to waste my time. I already know what you're thinking.
I know you're talking to 3 other agents, and you already don't like me from the get-go.
Yeah, this guy.
I don't understand why. But, yeah.
I don't know why you have something against my hair, but...
Yeah, that's it. You walk in, you open the door, and you're like, oh, this guy's sweet.
Yeah, I get it. I'm too cool for you, but it's fine. Listening to their mind, that would be a little bit too much. It'd probably hurt my feelings at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
Too traumatic,
Yeah.
right?
I'd probably say something weird. I don't know.
There's no need for that.
I also think of half the things that go through my mind as well.
And you don't want people to think about that.
I don't want people to hear what I'm thinking. So, yeah. Not that I think anything crazy, but
we all a little crazy every once in a while.
Controlling people then.
Controlling people. That's a good one. I feel like
it kind of sucks though, the way they sound, right? Controlling people kind of.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you want to keep it like on the positive side, where like, oh, maybe this guy is having a really hard issue with drugs, maybe like, I can help him to like not have that problem anymore.
Yeah,
like
I mean, if you're going,
right?
if you're going that far, I was thinking more of like, hey, I'm out of whiskey and my kid is sitting there, like, I'm like,
go get me
go get me some whiskey.
See, I like that you put a positive twist.
I feel like that's why you have a kid, but they don't obviously do it all the time. But if I had the control of doing that,
that's probably the reason why I would have a kid, just to like do my own labor and like
go change the laundry,
like microwave my food, get daddy another beer.
Hey, we all went through that, so somebody needs to.
We did do that.
Oh my gosh,
100% true. All right, well, here's the next one. Would you rather be able to turn invisible at will or teleport anywhere you want?
Ooh.
I think I will go teleport.
Yeah, I don't think there's there. I mean, I could probably go back into like a handful of situations where I was like, this is uncomfortable, invisible. You know? Like that's the only time I think I'd feel like time to leave.
But you could also teleport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost the same thing. Like,
Irish
you
goodbye, just like quickly, like, hey guys, I'm just gonna go go to the bathroom. I'm just gonna powder my nose.
Yeah.
And then just like leave.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to say that. You just boom, gone. Yeah. You think about it.
You just go to the restroom and then you gone.
Well, and invisible, I think I'm like, oh, how many times would I want to be invisible? I feel like also I'd be like creeping around.
You feel like a creep at that point. Yeah.
But I also be interested to see what people are saying when I'm not in the room. Not that people would say anything like,
Well, wouldn't that go back to the reading the mind thing?
Yeah.
Well, I love how these questions just kind of like if only you asked like realtors these questions, like that, they kind of all go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'd like to be invisible in that room right now and figure out like, hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And they're like, this guy's just not doing, or this guy's the best. He just needs to do this, and you come back and you're like, let's get this done. And they're like, what?
Yeah, especially after a client like there, you see a house, like, hey, take a minute, like decide. I know you have a private conversation,
right?
And then I'm just invisible.
You just follow them.
Like, this house would be great if we got a 30 grand less. Hey, you know what? I can make an offer 30 grand less for this house, and then just get that info. That'd be great.
Yeah. See, that could be. Or if you have so many showings, the teleport would actually, because the driving these days kind of sucks.
Can I teleport my clients with me? Is this like a van?
I feel like it's open for discussion. I feel like you can.
If they touch you,
I feel like you're holding like, okay, hold on.
We're locked arms and then we just go around.
That
That would expedite my business like tenfold.
Oh, yeah. The only guy,
besides being hunted by the government. But
that would be
all scientific purposes.
Hey, I only use this for good real estate. Okay, I don't use this for as a weapon.
We know what they were trying to do to ET. So
they'll want to weaponize you.
Yeah, of course. You're like, I just want to show.
So
I just want to show homes.
I just love real estate so much. Why would I want to work for the government? And teleport weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. You know what? The thing about being invisible and reading minds, whoever has that power needs to have a very strong mindset, because to not let, like he said, your feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
And after a while, I'm pretty sure it gets to you, like hearing other people's thoughts and like being mean. Because the thoughts that we have are like extremely rude in comparison to the way that we say it.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm positive all the time, Tony.
Oh, sure.
Oh, he's just happy.
Sure. No, he's positive over time. Not in this industry. We try to be.
We smile. We smile through the pain.
Okay. Would you rather be able to see the future or change the past? That's a deep one.
Ooh. That's a hard one.
Are you comfortable where you're at now?
I would say I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like at the root of it, I am. I obviously go through different struggles from here and there out. And you kind of question why things got to this place.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I had a really intense like past year.
Yeah.
Going with like family issues. I lost my father in back of March. But at this end of the day, I still have that mindset where everything happens for a reason.
100%.
Yeah. Despite all of it, of course, it's sad and I miss him, but I wouldn't change it in any way because I got closer to my mom.
Yeah.
I created these amazing friendships with my friends.
Yeah.
And I met all these amazing people. So I just can't lose all that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
especially with something, and I'm so sorry about your father, but like it's something that's like that big in your life. You really find out who is your best friend, your friends, what relationships that are going to build from it. Like it is, it's like your mom, like it's incredible. Like my daughter has a lung disease, and like to go back and say like, all right, let's do IVF, like knowing that we were going to pass this on to her, cystic fibrosis. And we didn't know, like she just was born. And then we found out like after she was born, we dealt with it ever since. She's 12 now and she's great.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't imagine going back in the past and being like, let's try this. That she would be a totally different person. Yeah. She might not be a girl. She might have other issues that, you know, it's like you start messing with you hit it on the head. It was like, unfortunately there's things that happen that are just so sad that it's hard to overcome, but there is reason for it. Whether you believe, and I'm not going to get religious or anything because that's just not this show.
But we're to church.
It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show.
But I mean, there's a higher being, and there's karma. There's there's the universe. The universe has a purpose for everybody. So,
and I've noticed every time, like whether everything gets heavy, somehow it always works out. Something happens. You might get pushed to your limits, and you're just like, I want to give up, or something's going to happen. Something comes up. That makes you keep going, whether it's just like a small win with a client, something with family, just a great experience with friends and family, whatever it may be. And it just happens every time. Yeah. Yeah. And it could all, despite it being very awful, can be very beautiful at the end.
Yeah. I believe that. I didn't mean to get too deep, but
no,
I love it.
Hey, we said we're going to get deep.
I said you were going to get deep.
I'll see the future.
I would say, yes, regardless.
I think so too.
At the end of the day, do I really want to see the future?
No. I know. If I had to choose, no.
Yeah. Well,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, but you had to choose between the two. I think I'll pick the future too. But I will not change my past because, like he said, like everything happens for a reason. Like it is what it is kind of mentality, right? And just, I personally think that if I would have changed the past, I will not be who I am.
Right.
Yeah. Like it will change my personality.
100%.
Like, it will be another Tony.
Well, a lot of all these movies too, you go back to like Groundhog Day and stuff. That one old man that's sick the whole time, and he goes back and he's like, I'm going to save him. I'm going to give him some cup of soup, and then he dies. And then it's like he goes and gives him blankets, and he brings him inside, and he dies. But he dies a certain way. Like there's this, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how much you change it, like it was
it's still going to have the same outcome.
Yeah. The same outcome, just a different way. And no, the future would be maybe for gambling purposes.
Yeah, maybe just to make money.
Lottery numbers, when the lottery was like, what, $1 billion or something?
Yeah. Is it today?
No, and it was back in the day.
Oh, but it's getting close. It's at 7 something, 7, 8.
And you get a lottery ticket.
Yeah, you get a lottery ticket. Go in the future, get the lottery ticket. I don't know. Yeah. I've also contemplated that.
But how do you
having more money to being like, well, you're well off, you're comfortable, you like we are. I mean, I understand that, but like I'm around people, and I'm not going to say names, but people with money sometimes they change. Yeah. And I feel like I would be the one that changes. I hate to say that, but like you never know. Like I don't want that much money to where.
Here's the thing. This is a saying, right? I think you guys heard of this. Money doesn't change you. It just brings who you really are. So
True.
just think, who am I really to the core? And when you have money, that's who you're just going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, are you going to have all this much money and abandon your friends right now and try to like party or do whatever you want to do? Yeah.
So it's just like, in my case, I want the money because I'm pretty confident on who I am. I don't think I will change. Like my core values are the same, like help my friend and family, and that's what I really want. And I think if I'm rich and millionaire, I think that will be the first things I'll do. Whatever else that I can get with that is just an extra,
Yeah. What's the point of having money if you can't share with the people you care about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very boring if you don't.
Extremely boring or like selfish.
That too.
Selfish,
right. You never know until you get in that situation. It's tough though.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, you're closer than us than we want to say.
No, oh my God.
Right here.
He's closer than he wants to admit.
Cut that one out. Not even close. All right, let's change gears here. Let's go a little lighter. Let's go a little crazier. Here we go. Would you rather live in a world with zombies or a world with vampires?
Or what?
Zombies or vampires?
Or vampires?
Yeah. I'm gonna go and I'll answer.
Okay,
away,
what kind of zombies?
Whenever
are we talking about, like Walking Dead zombies, or are we talking about?
No, let's go with the traditional. zombies, not the ones that can outsprint you and
Are we talking about
not like-
Twilight vampires, or are we talking about like
that's true.
Twilight
Or like what is it? Interview with the Vampires.
Interview
or
with the
anything Brad Pitt.
Vampire, or like Underworld, what's called that with the hot chick.
Here's the thing, and it's been weird because I've been since the dawn of since
Oh wow, these guys
horror
serious.
movies, since horror movies, and I'm asking this because you also liked horror movies in your Facebook back in the day.
I love horror movies.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I always thought like, all right, vampires, you're gonna party, you're gonna get up in your night at night, and there's nobody else around. I feel like they have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel like you're with zombies, you're not gonna have a good time.
No, I think every time there's vampires around, humans and vampires have lived throughout all these movies.
Right.
There's only just the few unfortunate humans, or the fortunate ones that turned vampires. So I think it's like that could be really fun.
The prey.
But sometimes I think zombies would just kind of, if they're like dumb enough where like they're kind of just like slow and walking.
Yeah,
it'd be
I
kind
feel
of
like that would be the zombies you want.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like it's like they're out there and there's like you're hunting deer or
Yeah.
like that type of
Not like
thing.
the Legend type of. Those are.
Oh my gosh, no.
Those are
No.
scary.
No, I don't want to
Imagine.
be like in the dark and then there's like some
They're
zombies
going around. Yeah.
And
like,
imagine like
running
you're just
home.
running so fast and so strong.
Daylight
It's like-
savings. I like to sleep in sometimes. Like I just lose like 4 hours of like running time. Like I have to go home before 4 p.m. on a winter day.
Yeah. No, and just stay quiet.
But I wonder if this question, like, is everybody a vampire or is it just you're just living in the world with?
What's
there
the question
are some. Yeah, it says living in the. Let's say live in a world with zombies. So zombies are there,
Oh,
but they're not
wait.
like. Is everybody zombie and it's just you?
Yeah.
Or is
like-
just some people like there's zombies in your
Like
world?
just like another Walking Dead.
Yeah, like
Well,
you could turn.
I
is
think
it-
the vampires, right?
Yeah,
think
more
vampires
fun.
I feel
would
like
be best.
vampires you can have a badass life still.
If you negotiate and you're just like, you know what, don't suck my blood. You know, let's get those.
I'll give you a pint a week if you leave me
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Like I'm the only human on the planet. You need me. Like,
But if it
need
were the
me-
two, I wouldn't mind being a vampire opposed to a zombie anyways. Like if
Oh,
they were like,
yeah.
we're taking you.
then what do you eat if you're the last human?
Shoot.
Cows?
Zombies.
Zombies?
I guess there's no.
Well, you
Zombie
vampire, you
blood.
can eat the animals, right?
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll only do a few more because I could do these all day. I love these ones. All right. Would you rather have a personal chef or a personal masseuse?
A chef. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is out of all the questions so far, like I'm still,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I choose
I
the
could use a
chef.
massage a day. I won't lie.
No, I can use the healthy food a day.
That's the thing. I will eat anything, and as long as it's like if you cook me a good meal,
Yeah.
then I'll eat it, and I'll probably be in the best health of my life. But just cooking sometimes gets a little too boring for me.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love food.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about me organizing these chords and stuff. I don't like cooking because I can't enjoy, that's the Virgo in me. I can't enjoy sitting down and eating a meal knowing the kitchen is a disaster. So like if I go and just start cooking, it's like, okay, if I cooked a steak or something, there's some splash, I'm cooking, my wife's like, hey, sit down with us. I'm like, okay, give me a second. Put the, all the dishes in all the pots and pans in the dishwasher, be
Clean
ready to go.
everything up, and
Yeah.
then like the food's cold.
And then you can enjoy it. But so having a chef, yeah, you're right, would be better.
I also just bought like a $50 like massage, like a dupe Theragun, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
like a massage. So I've just been going to town on my back with that, like when I'm working.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, it's all I need. So obviously a massage would be better, but
Right.
Yeah.
we have robots for that now.
I won't lie, I'm getting one tomorrow. All right, last question here. Would you rather be able to speak any language fluently or be able to learn any skill instantly?
Ooh, I have a good one for that one.
Probably a skill.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, just because everybody know two languages.
Because
What's a third?
learning another language is a skill.
Oh,
It is a skill. So you just
So
blew everybody's
I will
mind.
pick the skill because
my skill is to learn a new language.
exactly.
Okay. You just tore this question apart, Tony.
Well, I
Thanks, buddy.
speak two languages, so
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys both
There
speak.
you go.
Yeah.
So I was like, duh, skills.
Okay, entonces ahora hay que hacer el podcast en español.
En español,
Oh.
100%, sí.
See, I'll just say C the entire time.
Yeah.
We all have Hispanic last names too. That's the
Yeah.
problem. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
that's true.
What was your last name again?
Quesada.
Quesada.
Yeah.
Como
Okay.
quesadilla.
That's what I was
Quesadilla,
like. No, I had to do a double
quesadilla,
take when I was like
cheese.
quesadilla, Levi quesadilla. I'm like, damn.
I haven't heard that one my whole entire life.
No, I'm so original. I'm
Yeah,
the first
that's
person.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it. I let him say it first because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was embarrassed.
That's he calls them to me all the time. No,
Okay.
I'm never getting embarrassed. Let's see, Levi for one, jeans. I've heard Wrangler and
Oh, yeah.
jeans.
Levy.
Is anything Levy? Well, Levy I get.
I like
everywhere
Levy.
still.
Like Levy, you know.
It's the Hispanics. You guys changed my
Levy.
name to my aunt calls me Levy, and I'm like, no, it's Levi with an I, not
Levy.
a Y. But the
Well,
I
because
is an E.
Spanish
in
is
Spanish.
how you read it, how you
Yeah.
write it. So it's
Well, my name
Levy.
is Esteban, and sometimes people will call me just Steven straight up.
Really?
Yeah. And it's also from like a different demographic of people. It's really funny. I won't. But they'll just be like, I'm like,
Yes.
hi, my name is Esteban. They're like, oh, Steven, great to meet you. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, it's Esteban. I'm just, I'm
I
like,
know that.
thank you so
demographic.
much, Steven. Yeah.
I know what demographic
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, yeah, call me anything.
Whatever. As long
Well-
as you know me.
Well, going into that, so you are from San Diego,
Yes.
born and raised.
Born in Tijuana, raised in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where the second language,
hmm
English is your second language?
English is my second language. I never had a formal education in Mexico,
Okay.
but I did take ESL like when I was in kindergarten or elementary school. I don't remember.
Were you
but
in TJ for that?
I was in the U.S. for that.
Okay.
So I barely came up. I think I came here when I was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
And then I started taking like my Spanglish courses. And that's what my parents tell me that I'm like fluent in. But they roast me about it all the time.
Does your mom still only speak Spanish to you?
She speaks English.
She does speak English. Okay.
Yeah, she speaks both. She's the funniest person ever because she learned English once. She used to clean houses, and then she started working at a hotel
Yes.
at it was the Ivy at the time. Now it's the Ondas.
Okay.
And not to get too crazy, but like the rooms had a stripper pole in every room.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Where is this at?
In downtown. And there was like a lot of partying going on, and just imagine this like nice Catholic lady just going
Oh,
to
my poor thing.
Yeah, no, she loved it. Like,
Did she really?
Well, her broken English got her into like all these like little situations, and she learned English from them. So when she was like a nice proper lady in Spanish, but then when in English she would like cuss me out. She's like, I'm like, oh, I didn't do my homework today. She's like, that's why you're so fucked up. And she didn't know what she was saying. Yeah. Or what was it? I think she worked in room service, so they called her one time. They're like, hey, we need dirty martinis for this room. And she's like, okay, like I'm on my way. And then she tells the bartender, she's like, hey, we need to go. We need to deliver 30 martinis to this room right now.
Wow.
Oh,
30.
Wow.
Yeah.
They said
Dirty
30.
Yeah, she said dirty martinis.
Dirty 30.
But they loved her for it. Like and that's the thing. She would always like laugh and have fun about it. Like she was never that meek person that was just like
Right.
shy. It's just like, oh my God, that's wrong. She would just laugh.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny. Did they deliver all 30 or did
They
go,
showed up
"Oh,
with
okay."
a cart,
Oh my goodness.
and they were like gonna like make them fresh right there.
30 martinis.
Yeah, the guests had, like laughed about it and like
That's
gave her a
funny.
huge tip. Like that's my mom's just such a happy person.
That's
Oh,
funny.
that's so
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
you grew up in the States then?
Yeah, so I moved to Chula Vista when I was like 4 or 5. We moved into this apartment with my parents and my 2 older brothers. They're both 9, 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And we lived there for a couple years. My parents bought a duplex that, child labor. They have me fix up
Oh, nice.
from the spry age of 9, I think. I probably was 7. And then we sold that, made a profit before the recession hit in like 2007, like around that time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then we purchased, no, actually it was far before that. We bought the actual house in 2002.
Okay.
Yeah. So
2008 was like the real big downfall.
yes.
Yeah.
So we were able to purchase a house in 2002 from like the condo over to the actual house in 2002. And then we just kind of leveled up that house the entire time. So my parents taught me a lot about, at least my dad, he taught me a lot about like woodworking, construction, painting, all these things, which back then I thought he was like teaching me a talent, and no, he was just putting me to work. So yeah.
Well, and then trust me,
It worked
it works out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the 3 Hispanics in this room. I'll jump on that train.
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why
I know.
not? Why not? Why not?
But the same thing. My dad, I know enough to be dangerous about every little, like electricity still scares me.
Yes.
Like that's the one thing I don't like to run. I will do it if I have to, but
Yeah.
you know, I've
me
laid tile, I've done plumbing, and like even we're like renovating a house now, and you know, I talked to my brother-in-law who's all white, and I just
Yeah.
changed all the faucet because I scratched one when I hung a mirror, and I'm like, oh, we'll order another one, put the one that's damaged in there, and be
In the
like,
box,
oh, the
and
one came damaged. Yeah, you kind of get away with that.
Yeah.
He's all, you just did that today, and I was like, yeah, I knew I enjoy doing it,
Yeah.
but again, it wasn't
handiwork.
back then.
invaluable.
It was a handy work.
Yeah, no,
Handyman, yeah.
same. I don't like do tile though, but I know how to do it too.
I have never done
Electricity,
tile.
I know how to do electricity, but I'm the same as you. Like I'm like huge respect for it.
Once you get electrocuted one time, you're like, oh shit, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
respect
electrocuted
that.
last year. Yeah, it was.
yeah,
wow.
you respect it.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, the craft, I can't touch it too much. Like, I'm good. This is the one thing I will get someone to like do
to
for
do
myself.
it for you. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
It's not gained. Yeah. That's
No, I was just
dangerous.
about to change the light the other day, and outdoor light, the electricians already took off the light that was out there. They're going to put a fan in. They're like, well, we can do this. And so they're gone. I'm like, I'm going to do it myself. But there's no light to be
typical
like,
man.
well,
right?
well, there's no light
Typical
to be
us,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, wait, hey, tell me when it's off. Tell me when it's off. It's just exposed wire at this point. So I'm like, oh man, I'm going to guess it's on the same switch, but thank God I found my voltage meter.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was able to be like, okay, it's dead. Like,
Yeah.
I've been there to where, not where it's like, and you're holding
no,
on, but to where you're like, oh,
Oh my
that
God.
hurt way too much.
Yeah, like it pushes
Yeah.
you. Well,
yeah, it
that's why-
pushes you. It knocks you. Yeah.
That's why you don't grab it like this, right? You grab it like this.
I mean, if
I
you're
don't-
doing this or this, yeah.
No, because there's
I'm always like this around
Tony,
the house,
what's
too.
signals are
there's
you
a
sending
si-
us, Tony? I don't know what you're talking
as
about.
an electrician, they will tell
Okay.
you to not touch it like this. You touch it like this because the muscles contract, and then you go away from it
Instead of
gripping
down on
gripping it. Yeah, because if
Okay.
you grab it like this, you're just gonna like tense there.
Keep
It's
going.
gonna stick there. You know, you're gonna stay there.
Tony
Wow.
was doing this, by the way, or this, just to let you guys know you can't see him. But
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you don't grab like this.
You don't grab like this.
You grab like this.
You grab-
No.
you grab-
with the back. With the back.
Oh, with the back of
So
the hand.
this is the
Oh, the-
cable. If you're testing it, you do this.
Why the fuck would you want to test it? I'm not going to test it just in general.
Okay, well, I
I'm
was
not a
raised in
guinea pig.
Mexico,
Okay.
right? So we test electricity
That's
like
the
that.
thing. Rough times.
So
Oh.
stop
We
judging
couldn't
me.
get someone to test it. You bring the youngest kid or the oldest kid, not the middle one.
Yeah.
The middle one is, he has hope. But
Yeah.
the oldest, youngest. Yeah, test this.
Yeah. Test it.
Oh, man. So you learn to craft.
Yes.
That's amazing. And so do you incorporate that in every day now?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's so starting out my career, it really helped me out because I realized how much I really knew. And when you kind of know these things, you think that everyone knows it. And
Oh, my God. 100%. Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God, no, it's, you just put this drywall here, but like people don't understand that like painting's easy. But some people actually can't do it right.
Right.
But they think that something also is so expensive. And it helped me a lot with my clients being like, look, we can get a handyman to do that. You need to get a certified plumber to change a sink. Like you can just get a handyman to do this.
Right.
Things like that helped me in my everyday practice. But now even just to like me buying my house this past year, I was able to create a mantle for like the fireplace. I created this large barn door, all these things that I actually really do enjoy.
Right.
And then I also help my clients with that as well,
Yeah.
if they're lucky.
Well, it's just like anything. Like even my wife's like, hey, I see that they put the outlets upside down. It's like, that's such a quick change. Well, for one, it's just here and like that and then put it back in. You don't even have to change the wiring.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize. I thought it was too. Like I feel like
Yeah.
everybody that had a mom and dad that grew up, like I guess, I mean, if you have divorced parents and you live with your mom most of your life, yeah, I'm not saying anything, but you learn that. But I'm 42, so back then you learned it from your dad.
Yeah.
And my friends, like we moved in together when we were older in our 20s, and it's just so funny. I'm like, how did your dad like not like hanging a television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like finding a drywall, like he's just like there's 1,000 walls in or 1,000 holes in the wall, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you know
you
how
put
to
no
find
anchor on the wall.
stud
Yeah.
or an anchor or anything? Like it's just, yeah,
Like the typical like
yeah, the
to find
typical, yeah, you
nothing.
hear it. We
Trying
went
to
from
find-
hearing it
Oh,
was like
it's right
not
here.
these devices back in the day.
They look at
Yeah.
you like crazy. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, no, it's like
and
not
they-
a cantaloupe or something.
They even
They're
look at you
or
like if you're.
watermelon.
They even look at you like if you're dumb or something, right? Like you're just like, wow, I'm trying to find the wood here.
No, but
to look at."
I still get called from my buddies like, hey, And all my in-laws love, like, oh, you're gonna come down for vacation?
Yeah.
I got a list for you.
You know what I found?
I got
silly?
a list for you.
You know what I found? Well, at least I found like a little silly. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys know this, but change a tire.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how to change a tire?
I feel 100%.
Yeah.
I've done all
I'm pretty sure
I've done it before.
Yeah. But that's easy, right? It's like I don't know.
I mean,
I met someone. I don't
feel
want
like
to say names, but I met somebody. Their tire got like flat. They got a flat tire. They had the extra one in the trunk, and then let me call AAA to just change it. And I was just there like, oh, you have the jack.
Why
right
wait
there.
2 hours?
Yeah, it's like, dude, why wait 2 hours? Give me 10 minutes. Change. Papa, let's
done.
go.
And you know what the best tool for all of that is? YouTube. You just YouTube it.
100%.
You guys,
I learned everything. Like I should have gotten a degree on YouTube just for because there's always an answer there.
There's
Someone's
always
always
an
doing
answer.
it, and it's not as complicated.
You
No.
can. It's so specific too.
Yeah.
You can be like,
Mhm.
I'm not Tony. You talked about me. I'm not rich. I have a golf cart. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get.
Okay.
But I know. But I've done all my.
Point proven.
But again, I don't want to hire a guy that's going to charge me $70 just to come out there to change tires or to do
Yeah.
maintenance on it. So
How
change the
how
batteries.
hard
I'm
can
just
it
like,
be?
it's not hard. If you
Not
can
at
sit
all.
there and figure it out, like just the brakes alone,
Yeah.
you take
Yeah.
the tires off. I mean,
Super
there's a
easy.
couple times where I'm like, oh shit, what did I just do? How did I take that off? Where I put the tire back to the side, jack the other side, took it off, and because they're spring loaded. So then you're like, okay, don't let the springs blow out. Where you take a picture of what it looks like,
Yeah.
But there are people who walk. YouTube has been changed
YouTube's
the
the
world.
best thing. My dad, he was also like, he worked a lot with cards. That's where I lost him. Like I could do everything around the house, but then he would start talking about engines, things like that. That's where my other brother came in.
Yes.
But once you start like, when you said spring right now and you lost me, just because I'm like, I think that just brought like back trauma with
a spring shoots out and all the things fall apart. You're all, I don't know where that spring just went.
I'm gonna go watch cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was yeah.
Dude, cars in general, like I'll give it to mechanic. That's one thing I will pay for.
Mechanic.
And they know it. They know it.
Yeah.
Mechanics can, it's a very specific skill set, and I don't
Yeah.
have that. And
Well, it's important to know all these things too, because when it comes to like renovations or anything going around the house, I'll have some clients that are very green, that it's their first time like buying a house, and I'll go there with the contractor. I'll go there with whatever renovation goes, because I know very well what they need to do.
right.
And I know
So
what it should
smart.
probably cost. And I know like it kind of just to protect them, because people in this industry will tell you kind of like, hey, this thing's supposed to cost $100. They'll charge you $500 for it.
Yes.
And I saw that a lot too when I was renovating my house, because I'm younger, and they kind of just like, oh no, it's all this stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not up to code. You're not doing that right.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you charging me for this much? And they're like, oh, I don't know. It's because, and they start looking up in the air as if like the answers are up there. and I'm just like, no. And then I'll speak Spanish, because sometimes they don't think I can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, dude, let's do this right.
Shit. Okay. Let me regroup and I'll come back and I'll give you the real number.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tough because California too, it kind of fluctuates, depending on where you live in the city too. It's like, okay, you're not going to get me for, like I said, switching the doorknobs. Like I know I
No.
need new doorknobs because of new key, you switch the keys and it's like, no, you can get this. It's so much cheaper.
Exactly.
You can change
Yeah.
it too. Super easy.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes, you're done.
So you grew up here, you're a handyman, you're heading off, you went to college,
Yes.
you went to 3 different.
Yes. So I started out, I went to City College just because I wanted to get out of Chula Vista. I thought that was like my big break. I
Yeah.
was just like going 20 minutes north was like crazy for me. And then I did 1 semester there, and I was like, I fucking hate the traffic. So I went to Southwestern College. And then at Southwestern College, I think that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to major in communications.
Yeah.
I was like, I really like it. Just kind of like the whole art of public speaking, talking to people. I find it really entertaining. And just getting to know people in general.
Right.
So from there on, I transferred to San Diego State. And once I was in San Diego State, I was thinking, I'm like, what do I really want to do? Now it's getting more real. And like, my options were kind of like counselor, social worker, all these things, because I really do love working with people. But I was like, you know what? There's something missing. I really want to like do something a little bit more than just that, which those are really great careers, but there was something missing. And then I started hearing about real estate. So that's when I started kind of like diving into real estate and looking into what were my would be my options. I actually started an internship, I think it was in 2018, when I was doing wholesaling.
Okay.
And in wholesaling, for the people that don't know, it's you kind of call people who are in, it's really sad, it's like in deep distress, in bad situations, and you're like, hey, your house is worth X amount. We're willing to give you a cash offer for 10%. Oh, sorry, 60%. The 10% would be crazy.
It's all, wait, 10%. Yeah. Okay.
That's why it never worked.
Yeah.
60% or like 66. And that was my first start into like real estate. And I called like a bunch of people on Mojo Dialer for like 5 hours a day. It was the worst thing ever.
Something you weren't really thinking about when you're like, oh, I'm going to talk to people in communications. Just being on the phone is a lot different
than talking to these people who are going through like huge, like divorce, death in the family, all these things. And I'm like, hey, I know it's really hard. Let's give you a cash offer and like kick you while you're down. And I was like, okay, this is soul crushing. So after the fact, I guess my boss at the time, he's just like, hey, if they don't want to like sell at a discount, like you should just tell them that we'll like list their property and sell it for like full value.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if you can do that, can I do that?
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, why am I the middleman here and just getting like just a piece of the pie?
Yeah.
And then eventually I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to get my license. So that's kind of what led me to get my license. I'm like, if I'm doing all this work, talking to people and just handing off a deal to somebody, I might as well just do it for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That was back in
that was 2018.
2018.
Yes. And then I officially got licensed in, I think the first month of 2019.
Okay.
It's going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in between there, you worked as a server.
I did. Yes.
Nice. Did you enjoy that in hospitality? I mean, it was in a hotel. So.
Yeah. No, I worked at I worked at a couple places, but the main place was the Sheraton, right by the airport, the marina. And I enjoyed it just because, it's the fast pace. You're talking to people. That's kind of where I learned to shut up and smile. And just kind of like, you're serving tables and someone's like, my fries are cold. I'm like, you haven't even touched your fries.
Yeah.
And then kind of having to like problem solve.
Right.
Yeah. And you kind of, again, that's another growing thing where it's not always the best environment.
Yeah.
The other servers can be nasty. The customers can be nasty. The cooks can be nasty. And somehow you get along. Yeah.
Isn't that true? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I think the hospitality industry definitely coincides with, and a lot of agents come from that time.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm here because of it. I got furloughed. I was working at the Hotel Del for a long time. And, same thing. It's like you do have to put on a smile. I mean, and you got to understand, like, I don't think people mean, like, it's kind of hard to think about. Like, you're on vacation.
Yeah.
I know you're paying a lot of money, but you brought your family out here.
Mm-hmm.
You're on vacation. How can you be this way?
Yeah.
Like, look at where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they can still be that way. It's like you just feel bad for the people
you really
in
do
that
have
mindset.
You have to get in their head. And it's kind of, at least that's what kind of I had to do. At first, you kind of take it personal. What did I do? You really want to succeed. So you're like that within the serving industry and then in real estate. And you kind of take it personal. But then you're like, you know what? This person spent a lot of money on this vacation. Hotels are expensive. They're also eating in a hotel, which is expensive too. They'd be like, why is this soda $6? And I'm like, well, when I opened up the Sheraton, I decided the soda should be $6. I didn't make the prices. I'm getting minimum wage plus tips. But but you kind of like just kind of have to brush it off and not let it get to you.
Yeah.
And then if somebody complains, like it's not a reflection of me, I'm like, maybe it's the cook's fault or maybe they're just picky. And then just kind of brush it off and go to the next table and then and also try to get them to have a good experience too.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to get those people to already have a good experience. If they're already complaining about a $6 soda, sometimes it's you're
already at a bad start.
They're already in that mindset, and that's just they're not going to enjoy anything they're doing, but you wish them the best. And I really servers out there in any industry.
Oh my gosh.
And you can almost say realtors are servers.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
They're serving everybody's needs. You talk about like buying a $6 soda. Now you're buying a $600,000 house. That's even a bigger purchase. So it definitely comes hand in hand.
The pressure's on. People really have like high expectations for you to perform well and to find them like the most amazing deal ever.
Yeah.
And some people are realistic about it, but some people are just like, hey, I need you to get me a $400,000 house that's like 3,000 square feet in the city of San Diego. And I'm like, back in 2000, no, not even 2000, like
Where'd those
1990, like, yeah. So it's not like, some people, it's just about people's expectations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough. So you didn't go straight to the one group though. You started with, and you were Live, Laugh, San Diego?
Live,
Love, San Diego.
Live, Love, San Diego Homes, yes.
Okay.
So I started part of a team for, I want to say like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then with Big Block. And then something happened, the team split up. I was like, why'd you onboard me? This is weird. So left that, and then I joined Live, Love, San Diego Homes. Yeah, with the XP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But now you're with Compass.
And now I'm with Compass. Throughout that time, I really learned a lot, just about like the real estate industry, just trying to that was my year of growth. Made a lot of mistakes, none on my clients' behalf, but just kind of trying to get myself in the industry. And then eventually I was like, okay, what's the next step above?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you with was that a team or was that just on your own?
That was a team.
That was a team.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're with the one.
Yes, I was with the one group. So originally when I was in 2019, I was just going out networking and trying to meet different people.
Right.
And then I came across, it was this charity event, I think it was called Mariah. And then I saw one of the guys hosting it, which was Seth Struxma. And I kind of chatted with him. I was like, hey, I like your vibe. I like your brand. Like, this is really sick. And I really like what you're doing. Let's just stay in contact. And so I just kept in contact with him for like the following months while I was still working in real estate in that team. I really love that team for helping me get started and everything, but it just wasn't my brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good that you've learned that quicker than, later, because some people stick around for a long time and just.
And I wanted to give it a chance, but they were also like a North County team. Their colors were green and blue, and it was
this green and blue doesn't look good on you.
Doesn't look good on me, and then the marketing was a little interesting, but more power to them.
Yeah.
But I think I had a conversation. We all got together. I was with Seth, and I think Anthony was there, and we had a conversation. They were like, "Oh my God, we love Compass. It's so great. It's the best thing ever." Anthony gave me a whole TED talk about how Compass is the best thing ever created, and then they're like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good. Yeah, it's been good." And then Seth eventually is like, "Hey, like, if you're really interested, you should join Compass." And I'm like, "Well, if I join Compass, where would I go?"
Right.
And then he's like, "Well, come with us."
Yeah.
And that's kind of how like that whole thing started. Yeah. And I was onboarded 1 week before COVID went down.
Oh, wow.
So it was like literally the timing couldn't have been better because now they were stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. At that point, you can't get rid of any employees.
Like, you can't get rid of me. I'm stuck here.
Yeah,
like, it's a crime.
Call you COVID. Yeah, you fired me because of COVID.
You fired me because I'm like, you can't do that. Like, so I was like, I'm your dependent right now. So like, you have an obligation to me. No, if I didn't do that, I don't know where would I have been if I was going to do April because I had a listing coming up around the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave this listing with my previous brokerage. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm already getting this feeling. I just need to like pull the trigger right now.
Good.
And thank God, because they didn't know there was a huge global pandemic coming.
Right?
So
yeah. So you started. So we were talking about this earlier, but you went traditional for a full year. Started back in 2019, early 2019, January of 2019.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You became an agent. Full year traditional, like
regular real estate.
Learning regular real estate.
Yeah.
Everything's great, and then boom, the whole world goes zombies.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about. Yeah, it's just like the pandemic hits.
Full pandemic real estate. It's kind of like now how do I adapt? And how can I not be insensitive about what's going on?
Right.
Because agents will like, I sold 100 million thousand this year. Like all these things you want to be, if people are dying and going through like a whole global pandemic, the last thing you want to do is talk about your success.
Right.
So it's kind of like, how do I still market myself without like offending people that I still have some type of employment? So that was a little difficult. Yeah.
Well, it was also difficult because, at that time we were sitting there and we're all in our homes. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're like, okay, we're all in our homes. How the heck are we going to sell homes?
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing just conversations was like, all right, we got 30 days to figure this out until everything just goes to hell. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And then it went the opposite way of everybody thought. It was like, I need more space for my house. Like, if I can do this, I'm working from home now. The whole Zoom thing happened. And so you had a full 2 years of just now.
And well, then after the fact, it went crazy because people just realized that they needed, like you said, a larger home.
Yeah.
And then their interest rates were down. So some people stopped caring about COVID and they started looking for houses.
Yeah.
Well, safely.
Safely, there's always guidelines.
With precautions,
Yeah.
yes. We signed the PED every time. And, but that's kind of when I think that's kind of when I started understanding that there's always going to be something. Obviously, a global pandemic, something different. But I was kind of very reactive. It's like, what's everyone doing? The world's going to end. And there were a lot of agents that were just performing. They're like, we're going to keep going.
Right.
We're gonna make this happen despite this whole global pandemic.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, it was essential. I mean, people needed places to live too. So it was whether, and people lost jobs.
And
Not really lost jobs, but we're at home now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what he said is like, I think it's just key, right? Like, because when things go down, like you feel like, oh my God, the world is literally ending.
Yeah.
But like you see other people like they're still performing, and you're like, okay, so wait, what's going on here? How do I like
keep it going,
right? Because I don't want the world
there's a
to
lot
end.
of top producers in the industry that just kind of like, and that's what I started learning from then up until now, is that you just kind of have to be stubborn.
Right.
You're like, I don't care what's going on. There are people that are going to buy and sell, and I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
Relentless.
Yeah. That's Tony's word.
Because he calls
By
me.
the way,
He tells me you're stubborn, and I'm like, I'm not stubborn. I'm just relentless.
I like that. I'm going to take a stubborn away and do relentless from now on.
Because stubborn is somebody who's not open to new ideas. I am open to new ideas. I'm just relentless.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is good.
I'm going to put that in my vocabulary from now on.
But it's true because like a lot of, it was hard for people who had groups like that as well. Because you never, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. Not for a long time. Not us.
Yeah, not us.
Our kids might. I mean, look, I was 42 when I first saw my first pandemic. But it's like you have this group now. And before it was like, oh, I could depend on you for marketing stuff. I depend on you for this. Is like, I depend on you for advice right now because everything's shut down. What do we do? And I think that's a tough thing to do if you're the owner of a group. But if you can get together with the right people, you're relentless.
Well, yeah, you have
persevere.
That's the thing. We had to be a point of contact on what's going on. I think for the last 3 years, it's just like, what's happening? Do I buy or sell during COVID?
Yeah,
and you kind of have to just deliver that message to your clients without sounding like you're desperate for the business. Like it's actual factual information,
right?
That you're not trying to kind of misguide people.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of like people were just like, yeah, okay, we're still surviving COVID, but like when's the market going to crash? Like what's going to every conversation for like the past 4 years has been like that.
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
Yeah,
but it's always like doomsday. But then you get like at least our part is to kind of convey the message that it's still kind of going to keep moving forward,
right?
And that you always have to be careful and like consider your health and your finances, but there's still opportunity there. And eventually people got it. Actually, I think the best time to buy was like, I want to say May of 2020 or May or April.
Yeah. That was early.
Yeah.
I mean, March 2020 was kind of like shut down.
That was shut down. But like, that's the time where like there was no competition. Prices were going down.
Right.
And then interest rates were really low. But you wouldn't know that until like going in the future.
I wouldn't say were prices really going down, or prices were kind of just like
steady.
Normal. I mean, you can't really say down. They were
think
just
like in certain opportunities.
They were
like,
just kind of like there. Like you could still negotiate at that time.
You could still negotiate. I think that's it. I wouldn't say necessarily going down.
Yeah, but you still had some leverage on being like, hey, the inspection still happened. And,
like that's everything's still normal and prices are still kind of 2019 kind of prices.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could take advantage of people's, well, I hate saying that word. You could still work on people's kind of like insecurity with the market and like doomsday.
Yeah.
And then purchase a house then.
Out of fear.
Out of their, exactly.
Fear, yeah.
But eventually everyone got the message that
I think
they all just went, pew.
Yeah,
let's go crazy.
I mean, crazy.
2020 was like, it was good for real estate, right? Like a lot of people, like top producers came from 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, but I just hated being
well, now's the time. Home. A lot of those agents are gone now.
Yeah.
They're making moves. Mm-hmm. They're figuring it out. A lot of people didn't, if you got into that time, it was tough because you really didn't, You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. For all of the new agents that got into the market, at least I knew a normal market, so I hustled. But for everyone that joined in like 2020 or 2021,
Yeah.
If you had a listing, like it would get sold.
100%.
Like, depending on how well of an agent you were, it would depend on how high it would sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that would happen. And if you had a buyer, that would take a little bit of a different craft. But it was also more about like who's going to offer the most in certain situations.
Interesting.
Yeah. For us, at least for me throughout those years, like I didn't always have to be the highest offer. I realized if I just kind of had like, it's hard when you're competing with 20 offers, but in many cases, if you have really credible financing,
right,
a great lender that's going to like reach out and have that conversation, and then just talk to the agent. And
I think relationships
are
big in this
very
industry.
important. Exactly. So that was my point, to kind of like network and meet as many agents like as I possibly could, to kind of say like, hey, I know your listing already has like 12 offers. Our offer is like 10, 20 grand below, but I'm going to get this done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it happen. That offer is trash. And that's what I would say. And
no, but you
negotiate.
I'm telling you, like 10 grand and having an ease of mind and knowing that this is going to get closed and done.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that is
valuable.
Valuable. From mental health, like just getting your clients happy.
Yeah.
You never know with those higher ones. Is like you said before, it could be a total disaster. It could be a pain. You could fall out of escrow, and then you're like, okay, let's go back on the market. And
exactly.
Let's work with.
And you lose some like what is it?
Credibility
within the market.
Yeah.
You won't get as high as you once did before, possibly. So yeah, it was those things that kind of helped us kind of stay afloat throughout the market, or at least beat out the competition.
Yeah.
Throughout the past couple of years.
Where do you see yourself, like right now as an agent, farming? Like where do you like to be?
Yeah,
like,
so I typically
your neighborhood.
My neighborhood, I would say kind of like, preferably I like to work around like Balboa Park.
Okay.
Like that whole like little parameter, the peninsula that I like to call
Bankers Hills and all that.
Yeah, Bankers Hills.
Yeah, what is in that area? Like as much as I've been in this industry and I've for little time I've been in San Diego, everything's a different neighborhood.
There's so many little different neighborhoods. But yeah, you have like, I just go around Balboa Park, and then if you go south of Balboa Park, you have Golden Hill, and then South Park. If you go up South Park, then you start going to the, what is it, East
Village?
No, so like to the east area. Well, if you go down even more, you have East Village, but then you have the downtown area.
Yeah.
You have Bankers Hill, and then on top of that, you have like Mission Hills, Hillcrest, and then you start going east again. And then that's when you have North Park, University Heights. So there's all these like small little sub communities, and each one's so vastly different than the other. And there's different opportunities within each one's. I like to work around that area.
Okay.
Just that's because we're like, I kind of relate to the most.
Yeah.
I like the houses have a lot of history. San Diego doesn't, I wouldn't say San Diego doesn't have a lot of history, but compared to other cities,
right,
it's really hard to come across.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stories with these homes. And it's also the walkability. I like to be able to say like, hey, this house is like, you can walk 5 minutes to the park from here.
Yeah.
There's a local Trader Joe's. The Sprouts is around the corner. My favorite bar is around here if you like to drink. There's a dog park right there.
Yeah.
If you have any fur babies. But I typically see around there, but I'll go anywhere in Metro San Diego, which is from like all the way from Point Loma all the way to Spring Valley, and then I'll go all the way down south to the border to my people.
Yeah.
What's up? Nice. And then I'll go pretty north as well. I typically do all of San Diego County, but like I've worked as north as I think San Bernardino.
Yeah.
It's not San Bernardino. What is it? Oh my God, I just closed the place there. I go north.
Okay. I would love to help you. I don't know either. North is too far. No, I love asking agents that question because realistically, you'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
But you do feel more comfortable in certain areas, because you know the lifestyle, the nightlife, the restaurants. Like you feel comfortable there. But again, hey, if you're gonna find something north, call Esteban. He knows where he's going. San Bernardino.
I know my compass. I know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, how do you relate? How do you build relationships with your clients?
I think for me, it's really easy to just have conversations with clients.
Yeah.
I kind of like every time I'm with somebody, I always try to kind of get them comfortable.
Yeah.
That's whether like making jokes, talking about like if they find a house they don't like, I just rip on the house. And then I just kind of like both of them like, isn't this awful? Like they're like, yeah, it's terrible. And then just kind of making that a little bit easier for people really helps solidify those relationships for me.
Yeah.
I guess through comedy and also through like social media. I really try to make my presence on social media. I think the rule is what, like 80% personal, 20% real estate.
Right.
The last thing I ever want to do is bore people.
Yeah.
And I know if when I first got started, just a side note, they kept telling me, it's like, you have to go on Facebook. And when you're at the open house, you have to go on Facebook Live. And then you have to tell them that like you're at the house. And I'm just like, oh, hey, everyone. I'm like in a suit and tie like a monkey. And I'm like, hey, like, this is me at 123 Snooze Lane. If you guys are looking to like, buy this condo, it's 1,000 square feet. And it's just like, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
So eventually I realized that's like, I have to just do videos that kind of combine real estate, but also that entertain people. That's showings of like a really nice house or showings of a regular house, things that kind of like involve homes, like woodworking, and then just talking to people.
Yeah.
And I think people just kind of genuinely, as Instagram, we're all interested with each other.
Yeah.
But not everyone sells something when they're on Instagram. So I try to kind of have that as an afterthought. Or maybe not so much an afterthought, but like I just want it to be there, present. Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good segue because into your social media and everything here. I was sitting there watching all your videos. It's so funny because the night before, I love to. I'm a crammer. I like to cram and I like to keep things fresh. So I go pretty deep in everybody's my guests' Instagrams and Facebook. But there was ones where you're sitting there in like a full button down long sleeve shirt, giving me the whole rundown of the house, and I'm sure my wife's just like, what are you watching right now at 10 p.m.? Just watching, my agent just talking about, just watching these old videos. And I love it. Yeah. I love it because, we were talking about this out there is you started Instagram. I go all the way down to the first post you do.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, February 2019. That's how creepy it gets. But it was like somebody told you like, okay, if you're going to do your Instagram, you're going to start this.
Make a business page.
It's going to be all business.
Yeah.
Because like literally the 21st, I'm like, all I saw, not even homes, I saw the front porch of all these homes if you go down all your Instagram.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then it starts changing. Yeah. And it's amazing to watch. And I truly love your Instagram. Like it ended up very entertaining. Like you mix a great, like you said, the funny. You're a funny guy, so it's fun to watch that, like, the trends. You go with the trends. But you interpret them like I don't know if it was your mom in that one video that you pushed out of the way and you're like, that was what clients think. I was trying to slow it down.
That was my roommate.
Like, that was your roommate. Okay, it was like
my poor mom.
Yeah, it's like what clients expect when you need a counter offer.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of the way, and you like push this lady. I thought it was like, did his mom just let him push? Like, for comedy value, I loved it. Like, it was hilarious.
That was me, like, talking to my roommate. I was like, I think it also, like, helps split my day up.
Yeah.
If I, like, get bored, I'm like, you know what? I think, and just hit me. I'm like, I think this will be, like, a good, funny, reel, TikTok, whatever. And I'm like, hey, can you come over? And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to push you out of the way. And we're going to do a couple takes. And I'm going to push you hard because I really want this to sell.
Yeah, of course.
So... yeah, no, I think when I first started with Instagram, I had this impression that I could have had my personal Instagram and my business, and I could have had it separate.
Right.
And I think that was just kind of me being a little meek, just kind of like, you start out something, you don't know if you're going to like succeed or fail.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what, at least like I won't be embarrassed if this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And then once I started getting into it, I'm like, I realized that I can't have my business page live if it didn't have a soul, which included me.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I started putting myself in it in my day-to-day life. And eventually I got rid of my personal, and my personal became my business and personal Instagram. Right. And yeah, no, I look back at a lot of these videos and I'm just like, oh my God, why did I do that? Or why did I post that? But at least it got started. I think that's
you have to get started.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
people don't, they're just like, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? Not everything I posted out there was gold.
Yeah.
I like to think it was gold, but it probably, I know it wasn't.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's always a start somewhere. I mean, I
Exactly.
was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, look at the Simpsons, you know, who they've ran for since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And you go back and you try to watch season 1, you're like, I can't watch this. It's like a doodle.
It's
like somebody doodling and
Yeah.
like making comments. And I'm like, how did it start? And I actually enjoyed watching it. It had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you look back at it and you progress, and obviously it evolves. And it's, like I said, you do a great job.
Thank you. Yeah, you just start over time. You start getting to know what your brand is, and it's really a big question to ask when you're starting.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is what I am, and this is what I know.
Right.
And then you also get more comfortable at what you have to say. And for me, it's also knowing about not taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
Because it's social media. At the end of the day, you can't just like always puff up your chest and,
Right.
and be like the top dog and super cool. That's why like on my bio it says like number 1% of
I was going to
realtors.
say that as I introduced
Yeah.
you, according to my mom.
According to my mom, number 1% of realtors, according to my mom.
Yeah, I love that. That was so good.
So it's just kind of like, I don't have fun with it. So many people
Yeah.
are too serious with a lot of these things, and you just kind of like need to relax. Yeah.
It humanizes you.
Humanize it.
I
Yeah.
mean, for sure. Like, you don't want to be the one that's in that suit, like just doing, you know.
My
it doesn't-
clients don't show up to showings in suits. They show up in flip flops and board shorts.
Yeah.
And like they're casual. And that doesn't mean they can't afford a expensive house.
Billionaires in board shorts. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
You
We're
know?
in San Diego. Like we're not
You
in the
never
East
know.
Coast. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to New York or Broadway. I don't know what they do over there. But I just made that up. But still, it's like so like slow. It's like
Yeah.
easy pace down here.
Well, then you start like it's hard because if you do have your business one, then your personal life, then you're spending almost double the time to work on your work one.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but I really like, and then you don't even want to work on your personal one because you made this a full-time job doing this. But once you integrate your whole life
Yeah.
together, which you're Esteban, you're the night goer, the partier, the daytime real estate agent,
Yeah.
the podcaster. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
you can't have one for every thing. That's you.
And that's the thing too, because I thought for my image as a real estate agent, I was like, I have to be kind of this, like, I have to show this perfection
Yeah.
of some type of degree that like, I'm always hustling. You need to talk to me when I have deals. But like a lot of the clients I met when I'm like going to a friend's party, a dinner, when I'm out and about, I was in Puerto Vallarta last year and I reconnected with a friend, and then he ended up buying like a $2.3 million home.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. So like through things like that, like you really do have to go out there. You can't just like kind of like suffer and stay in your house and
Yeah.
just call people. You can do that. Like you can, then people make a lot of money that way. But still, for me, that doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. And I realized I was like, okay, I have to kind of show myself. I have to show my personality, and I have to meet people where I typically would meet people.
Yeah. Do you like a certain platform more one than other? Do you do just
I think
Instagram?
I lost something.
Are you you lost? Did you move?
Oh, there we go.
Tony, you back?
I'm back.
Do you like a certain platform more than another? Like, is Instagram your go-to or TikTok?
Instagram's typically, Instagram's my go-to. I've like dabbled a little bit with TikTok here and there.
You haven't fully converted to TikTok yet?
And I try, but Instagram, just the algorithm loves me a little bit better than TikTok.
Yeah.
I just can't do the renegade, and I don't do the dances. Yeah, I don't get a lot of like viewer count. Facebook, I probably should do something there, but I've completely abandoned it.
Yeah.
It's so much work, and I think the thing with social media is that you can only devote so much time to it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of agents are just like, they consider them posting on Instagram and doing all these things as like their business. Like
Right.
that's, I went to the office, I spent 2 hours on Instagram, like that accounts as something. I'm like,
Yeah.
you need to get on the phone and call people. Like you
Right.
can't just post little stories all the time and just make that your only business.
Yeah.
You have to go out and
Yeah, you got to find the business too, and then you connect late at night.
Yeah.
You know, you took your dog for a walk, and then so has the same dog as you, and then that's where you connect later in the night. But other than that, you really got to go out and do the traditional
work.
the hustle.
You can't avoid it.
You can't avoid
As
it.
much as like just being, there's a lot of people who are like these social media gurus that make a lot of money. It's like, it takes
know.
work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you spend more? Do you think you spend more time creating content or more time interacting and following with your followers?
I probably creating contact. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm notoriously, as much as I tried to kind of like, I gather ideas from people, and as much as like to engage, I could do a better job with it. I'm the person that doesn't like to text. I like you to send me a text message, I'll call you and I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, meet later today. Cool. Bye.
Yeah.
But I it's hard for me to kind of do that, but I've been trying to like slowly get better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you know, we call it social media. You do have to socialize.
Yeah.
And
I
Tony
can't just
tells
put
me-
out there and have people talk to me.
I
as if
know
I'm,
it's
like
tough.
famous.
Yeah.
It's so tough.
The engagement part. I've been doing like a test lately on my own account, because I used to post last year. I used to post every day, at least 2 posts a day, and it started growing. Right, my account started growing. I can see some results, but then something personal happened, so I kind of like went and slowed down on the posting, and I haven't been posting so much lately. But what I started doing is like, okay, so I'm just gonna engage now. So I started like going to other accounts and started talking to other people, and what I've noticed is I'm growing my following just through engagement without me posting every like single day, twice a day. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna put content out there. I'm just saying like just interesting when you start engaging, like how the algorithm is like.
You really have to do like a balance of the two. You can't just go on there and expect everyone just to give you all this love if you're not gonna give people love back.
Yeah.
So every time I kind of do go on there and engage, I do get a little like more reward, or you get more engagement afterwards. It just does get hard because Instagram is used to, you're either you're either a creator or a consumer,
Right.
and it's really hard to go on an app that's trying to make you a consumer and just be a creator, because you'll get stuck there for 3 hours or 4 hours, and then you're like, oh wait, what was I doing? And then I'm like, oh shit, I should have been making calls. Did I call my client? Like, oh my god, did I just make TikToks all day? Like, and I kind of try to have boundaries with that. I know a lot of people fall into that habit where they thought they worked all day and they were just on phone doing social media branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nice. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I actually have to use the restroom.
Oh, shit.
I've never stopped a podcast ever before, but I'm like, oh my God, I got to go.
Well, you
And
can
I
end it. You can end it now.
I'm not going to end this shit now. I still got a few little things here. Let me just go over. Hey,
All right.
do one of those things where you throw in there. There's like 5 minutes later.
No, we can
You know
talk.
the-
We'll talk about
okay.
it when you're gone.
Be right back.
Hey, I just opened up my beer.
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
This is an open forum. It's not like a TV. You know? That's funny. So you work on your social media a lot lately, or?
I took December. I kind of took some time off the social media game, just because I was like, it's families, all these things going on.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, just life. I think that's the thing. I'm like, oh God. There's sometimes where I'm like, I just don't care about like some other facets. I still do the real estate stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have the energy to like smile and make like a funny TikTok right now.
I feel
Entertain people. It's really
entertain
hard.
is tiring, dude. Like trust me. Like I've been trying on my account. I've been trying to push that. You know, I have my own business and it's a marketing business, content, podcast, and all that. And I had to lead by example, right? Like if I'm doing that for my clients, I had to do that for myself, kind of, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the people that do the loan. They don't do it to themselves, right? They do it to their clients, but you go to their house, the front yard is like,
What are you talking
what
about?
the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
No, seriously.
The same thing with me, you know. So I've been trying to improve in that regard, but it's so tiring, you know, creating content. And sometimes I'm doing it for I have a team, right? I have an editor, I have social media assistant that she helps me, and I just hired a new assistant to help me with the ops and stuff.
Nice.
But it is tiring, man, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I get excited because I like to work on my own stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to start working on my own stuff. But then something happened and like, oh, shit, I need to go handle the client first and then just like fix
It
that.
derails you from your thing.
It derails me from my thing, yeah. So that's why I'm getting a new assistant, because I want that person
Keep you in line with everything.
to help me with those things, because where I want to go, I cannot keep doing this, you know.
Of course,
I need to have more like organized things.
Well, that's the hard part when you're kind of like, there's your ongoing business with your clients that you're working with, and then you get a new business. You can't neglect one or the other.
Yeah.
Like so many people early on, I would just find one transaction and I'm like, oh my God, I'm devoting everything to this. I'm like, I'm going to make this the best transaction ever. And at the end of the day, they're like, thank you so much for selling me the house. Bye. And then I'm like, okay, what's next? I'm like, oh shit, I haven't been doing any of my work. I've been following up with clients. Like I'm starting over again.
Yeah.
So you kind of do have to do the two and like
balance it out. It's tough, right? It's just like you have to divide yourself into different
where you're working on your next one while you're in one. Is that what you're
positions.
kind of talking
Like
about?
while I'm putting out fires here, I'm also talking to, hey man, how you doing? Hey, do you want a social media? You want to shoot a podcast? I can help you with that. Yeah, sure. No, everything good. And over here, you're just trying to handle all these things. Yeah. So
yeah.
I feel you. Like it's tiring. It does, but it does pay off though.
Yeah.
I cannot complain. Like a lot of my clients that I have, I got them through like like networking, like talking in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
But social media wasn't helping me. It's like when they go to my account, they see like, oh, okay, we like that, we want that, you know. So that's kinda what's been helping me. But
we're all walking billboards of our business, and our Instagram is a bit of a reflection of that.
Yeah.
So it's the pressure's on to kind of convey something digitally that's human. So
correct.
Oh yeah.
Well, correct.
Well, I apologize for walking away.
Oh, you were gone?
You are forgiven.
Well, you know, you get in this old age here. You tend to have to use the bathroom a little bit more.
First the cell phone.
You know, it's a camera. Hey,
and now that
it's never happened before. First season the first episode of this season. You got to get up. You got to use the bathroom. You know, I'm sitting there. And I feel so bad. I'm sitting here and I'm like trying to focus. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna wet my pants. I'm like, should I just wet my pants and just keep going with this conversation? But I figured it'd probably be nice.
That's why next time you bring a Gatorade bottle and then
like connect it.
What are you saying? Yeah, keep going. Speak a little louder. It's that background. Okay, so I'm an old man. I'm 42. I won't lie. I mean, everybody knows that.
You're not that old.
Your birthday's coming up next month.
Yes, it is.
You're a Pisces.
I'm a Pisces.
How old are you?
I'm turning 27.
20.
Pisces? Is that February? I thought that was Aquarius.
February 24th.
I'm like
He's on the cusp.
Yeah.
He's on the cusp. So 23rd is like the...
So what's Aquarius? Like,
I don't know.
We don't know because he's not an Aquarius.
I'm a Pisces.
But you know all these things.
Well, I don't know. But I mean, like cusp... I mean, you could go both ways. You could go Aquarius and you're like one
Paris
day
Hilton's
off.
an Aquarius, so I don't know if that says anything.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Well, everybody knows I'm a Virgo, but I like to talk about... Let's talk about yours. I'm going to read you a little passage I found.
Okay.
All right?
Passage?
It's let's see, kind of a horoscope, but it's your birthday.
Bible.
Okay.
It's for just specifically born on February 24th.
Got it.
There we go.
Okay. Being a Pisces born on the 24th, you are perhaps most well known for your intuition, selflessness, and imagination. You have a firm grasp on your emotions and those of others, which explains your ability to sense when someone is upset. You use your emotional understanding to be a supportive friend, coworker, and family member. In all aspects of life, you apply an active imagination, which allows you to see the best in people, situations, and circumstances.
Oh, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That hits home. I mean, this is why I love doing this. Everybody gives me crap. They're like, well, you do it to every episode. But I don't know you very we met probably a month ago. I'm like, dude, you're perfect for this podcast.
And now we're best friends.
And we're best friends. And so when I go into these dives, and we talk about social media and stuff like that, that's your business card.
Yeah.
So like if you're going to go for a job interview, I'm going to look at your social media and be like, what is this guy doing? And so when I do these podcasts, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna research and stuff. And so some of the stuff that I read about your birthday and your personality just from seeing videos, like there's one point you hand your mom a check. Like the selflessness that you put in, the family that the stuff that you do for your family and for your friends and stuff like that, it comes out in the video. I don't know if you mean to do it or whatnot, and you're just being yourself, which is amazing. But I think that to a T, and that's why I wrote that. No, I didn't write that personally.
You wrote it.
You did it.
You
did it.
But I only bring out the good stuff, and I know that that's you, right? I mean, that's
No, I really appreciate that. That's really sweet. I think in the fact that you kind of gather that a little bit through social media, I always, yes, my intention is to kind of make people feel something.
Right.
But through that, I can't fake it.
You can't.
I can't, like, as much as I can fake a smile sometimes.
Yeah.
But realistically, like, I need to be as authentic as I can, and that'll come out like when I try to post something.
Right.
And I realize, I think that's the time when people kind of always relate to you the most. Nobody wants to know that like your life's, they don't want to know that your life's perfect all the time.
Right.
Like people get annoyed of that. They're like, oh my God, this bitch again is like doing like, it's so great. Good for her. Like everyone's struggling. And if you're a little bit authentic about that, then people are going to kind of like talk to you about it and relate to you about that. So yeah. And I did that also too, because as much as everything that I've done like could be good, I feel like I owe a lot to my friends and family for that. And because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Like they've supported me for so much through all these things. And I have such an amazing group of people. And for me, it's just like, I have my birthday's coming up and we're going to go to Mexico City. And I kind of say that like, as much as this is a birthday for me, I wanted to bring all of you people together here. Yeah. And I'm a great planner. I make amazing trips. And I was like, I want to have one trip at least this year where we're all together. And it just happens to be on my birthday. But that's why I was like, that's because I like love you guys and you guys like helped me so much, and that's where it should all come from, honestly. Yeah. And
that's funny because you didn't write that. I got that.
You wrote it.
You wrote it.
Well, I didn't say it. No, I got it. I'm not plagiarizing. I found it from the internet because the internet's amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't see that and then do all your posts. Yeah. Like that's just you, who you are. Yeah. That's so amazing.
Thank you.
So it definitely shows what you're doing. You're doing great things. And that's why you're going to succeed in this business, because you're authentic. And I say that from, day one. Like if you could give advice, like what's the secret of life? I told my daughter this. Mm-hmm. You raise kids and you're like, fuck, I just want you to be good human beings. Yeah. And that's the thing, is just like, be genuine. Yeah. That's the secret of life. Be genuine. Be genuinely kind. Yeah. And it will come back to you. Mm-hmm. If you're genuinely an asshole, then it will come back to you in a different way. But be genuine. Like, I mean, people want to see that in you, and it's going to show. And like I said, it showed without you even knowing like that I was writing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're being you. Yeah. And that's why you're going to be successful in this industry and in life. So congratulations to everything that you've done.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I always end the podcast. I hate that we are done, but
so sad.
We still got a little bit while. Let's see. So I'd like to finish the sentence. So this is all about you. Okay. No wrong answers. Whatever comes to mind, just say it. I can't believe I actually blank when I was younger.
Oh my God.
This one always stumps everybody. I should never start with this one.
Can't believe Now that I think about it, I think I might have mentioned this before. I can't believe I sold chips when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you went to class and you just sold chips?
I did it from like 8th to 10th grade. And 10th grade was my big year, kind of like, real estate. You got to do a couple of years.
Yeah, they've heard about you. Hey, did you hear about us?
And I had business cards
chip
and like,
business.
No, but so I legit would take a duffel bag with all these chips. We had like some security at the school and they thought that I was like in a sport, a giant duffel bag. And I think I would profit like $250 a week.
That's amazing.
Like that would be profit. And I would sell it out of this locker. I would pay someone $5 to be my like security. They would essentially tell me if like security's coming. And I would just kind of throw everything in like the locker, close it up, jump in the crowd, hide. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? I'm like, there was a fight. And then just kind of like brush it off. Yeah. And then I would kind of, do you know chamoy? Have you had chamoy?
No, I don't think I've had
chamoy. Yeah, so he's had chamoy. Yeah. La raza.
There you go.
But we would have chamoy, and it's this like little dressing you put on chips. And typically you would kind of like spray it onto the chips from a bottle, but I would put in these like little cups. Yeah. And sell them for 25 cents not because I was trying to like charge people more, just because it was efficient. So during like a 10-minute break and lunch, I would sell 100 chips and like quickly. Yeah. And then I would do that.
You'd make little bags? Bags?
I would just have the bags. They would be like Tocitos or Takis or.
Oh, okay. They weren't like you were making home like.
No. I wasn't baking. I wasn't Betty Crocker like in this bitch just hustling chips.
Retail.
Retail. Yeah.
Now I would buy them in Mexico and then I would sell them here.
Oh,
and then
that's so funny.
Every time I crossed the border, I was having a party because we're not supposed to do that.
Not for resale.
Not for resale. No, just recreational. Yeah. But I did smart. I did that for a year, but then eventually I was just like, you know what? And it was funny too because friends would try to do it and they would get caught. but I was like friends with the assistant principal. Like I just, you just gotta know people.
Yeah,
in the
you gotta
industry.
be
Yeah,
genuine.
you own, organize.
You gotta organize. You
Chips
gotta.
crime right
You gotta-
there.
you gotta shake
Organization.
hands, like,
That just goes to show, hey, high school kids are hungry.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know what you mean. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
My hustle.
That's the best one I've heard, by the way. That's so good. Well, I mean, I feel like this goes hand in hand. I know this is weird, but I really like to. Well, I guess that doesn't go hand in hand, but I know this is weird, but I really like to. I'm asking you blank. Blank. Fill that in. I know it's weird.
Wait, one
Is
more
that question? Is that
It's a new question.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
question. I feel bad. Let's see. I know this is weird, but I really like to.
I know this is weird, but I really like to. I don't know. I
You don't like do a dance out of the shower, or like you don't do a like put
I know this
put
is
honey in your coffee. My wife puts honey in her coffee. That's weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
well, maybe that's not so. I don't think this. I know this is weird, but I talk to myself a lot.
I do too, but do
Yeah.
you do it to where you're like you're in a supermarket and you're like, wait, am I lips moving? Like, is that how like much you talk to yourself? Like,
Yeah, like I'll talk or like I'll sing a song. I'll change. Oh, I know this is weird. I'll remix every song
yeah,
that I hear and just put like some stupid lyrics that I won't repeat
oh,
for the camera.
a little Weird Al.
And
I like
I'm,
it.
I'm not gonna do like a remix right now.
I think we might do that too.
But yeah, like I think I'll just kind of like replace like a song with a different word, or I'll just kind of like say things out loud. Not so much in public, but there's probably been some bystanders that have seen me just probably think that I'm schizophrenic or something.
Probably wondering like if I could read that guy's mind. Sort of
Yeah,
thing, going
yeah.
back to the
They're like,
shit. I wish I couldn't read minds.
Yeah.
Wish I could control people instead of read minds.
after they read my mind, they just go fucking Looney Tunes.
All right, I love it. There's another one.
Okay.
I love it when blank.
I love it when. I don't know.
This one's tough. Let's see. I would say like for me, I'm such an extrovert.
Yeah.
I love it when I'm around people. Like I love it. Like so. Like for instance, and it's kind of cliche to say, but my role has changed in this industry, and I'm sitting in our clubhouse. Come visit us in the clubhouse,
Yes.
and I sit there by myself all day. But honest to God, I love it when Tony pops in, or I love it when somebody just comes in and just chats with me for like
You never
30
say that.
seconds. Like, well, it's like,
I always walk in and he looks annoyed.
well, you always catch me up like when I'm on the phone or something too. and I'm
After
like,
talking to a
"Oh."
bad client.
Yeah. It's like,
No, honestly, I'm very extrovert too. Like my friends always like roast me that I'm always trying to like hang out with somebody. I like that I say roast a lot. I always like to be around people, but I'm not going to copy that. So I think I love it. I think the first thing that came to mind is, for some reason, like leave me alone came up to mind. I think I love it when there's no like issues going on.
Yeah.
Like I love it when there's like a moment of peace.
just perfect.
Just perfect bliss. Nobody's barking at me or trying to like get any attention from me.
It's
Not
like,
that it happens often, but
what is that? Ice Cubes. Today was a good day. You know that song?
Oh, yeah.
That was Ice Cube. Like you didn't have to pull out your AK.
Wasn't that
Like it was
Dr.
just
Dre?
like,
I think that was a Dr. Dre.
no, that was Ice Cube.
oh, I'm so lost.
Well, it's just the song. Like you just like,
It's an
you
all
just,
song from the 90s.
Oh,
you
you
just,
know, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
the
Ice
90s.
Cube,
Sorry,
yeah.
you're only 27. I'll play it for you.
Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? I think they
I
played
have
that song
played Grand
too.
Theft Auto.
I think
Yeah.
they played that song there.
Today
too.
was a good day.
I-
But it was
I
just
love
kind of
Grand
like
Theft Auto.
everything fell into place. Like I love it when like, it's
Well,
just,
yeah, but,
you don't have,
it's just a
but you
good
don't have
day.
stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he says like, my friends didn't get shot. That was a good day.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more hood, but
I would
yeah.
start saying that every day now. Like, if my friend didn't get shot today was a good day.
Today was a good, I didn't have to pull out my AK.
Yeah.
Exactly. He says that. Didn't
Yeah,
have to
he
pull my
does.
AK. It
He
was
goes,
a good day.
Yeah,
Like,
police didn't pull me over.
all right.
You know? That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. The secret to a happy life is.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's the secret to a happy life is surrounding yourself with amazing people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's whether it's like, I don't always think that, blood is thicker than water or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like granted, I have an amazing family, immediate family and others as well. But I think people put so much importance in like keeping certain people in life just because they have to.
Yeah.
And I have such an amazing chosen family that over the years, I've just created this group of people that I really love and respect. And yeah, just having people that you love and respect around you.
That's amazing.
That's,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, my wife's family is going through some stuff right now, and we won't go into details. But yeah, it is. Sometimes you like, damn. Like sometimes you can't choose who they are and who you're related to, and blood. Yeah, you'll stand by them as much as you can, but other than that, your chosen family is your chosen. Like sometimes, like so when I move here, and I think my wife is closer to her family than to friends. Like she'll do anything for her friends, but like her family is like die hard.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, yeah, I'll do anything for my family too, but I didn't have that much family.
Yeah.
Is like my friends. Like she understands, like, why are they coming to visit? Why they gotta stay with us? I'm like, that's my fucking brother. Like, regardless of her blood or not, like that's my family. I would never put would you ever tell your mom not to like stay with us or anything? Like it's kind of like it is. It's like you would do anything.
Why should my third cousin be on priority over this person that's seen me at my worst and at my best?
100%.
Yeah. And worst is like, those nights out, so with the friends and things like that. Like, they know things. They have leverage over you. Yeah.
You don't go back from
blood
that.
in, blood out. Or
Blood out. Yeah.
Blood in, blood out kind of thing.
That's another movie that you got to see. Too young. You're too young, man.
Here's the thing. My parents never let me watch any movies growing up.
Okay.
That was a sad thing. They just had The Lion King on loop and some other Mexican movie that I forgot, deleted from my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of movies I need to watch.
That you need to watch.
Yeah, this one is
and rappers too.
Yeah, this one's a classic Chicano culture movie. Blood in, blood out. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a gang gang stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
one went one
about,
way.
like, some reality stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's like 3 cousins, right?
Yeah.
Levi?
3 cousins.
3 cousins.
Brothers that are friends with their cousins. Like
No,
it's a
that's
tight
blood
family. It reminds me of my dad's family. Like everybody was in the same neighborhood. Like your in-house family, your brothers, and then you always hung out with your cousins across the street. So you had that one cousin or the 2 cousins, and then, the brothers.
So they're like that, and 3 of them. They follows the storyline for the 3 of them.
Got it.
Yeah, one was a druggie, one was a criminal, and then one turned his life around and went into the police force.
But the one that was like kind of like quote unquote the most aggressive, the worst one, ended up being like on the good side, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, when he was younger, everybody was like, don't fuck with him. But
because he was like the dangerous, right? And
I love those stories where it's like people come from like really screwed up beginnings and they kind of get out of it, and it's just like yeah, and
he tried to turn
and
the rest of his
Miklo,
family
who
around.
was like always the follower, right? Always wanted to blend in with the Chicano because he was half white, half Mexican.
It's my
He was like
it's
always
just my story.
Yeah, so he always wanted to blend in with the Chicanos, and he always like didn't like his white side, right? He always like, no, I'm Mexican and all that. He ended up like kind of being the top dog of the Mexican gangs and stuff. So
it's a good one. They changed the name too. Bound by Honor or Blood in, Blood Out.
Blood in, Blood
Why
Out
did they change the name?
Is the original. I don't know why they changed the name. It was Blood in, Blood Out for a while, and then they changed it Bound by Honor for the time period. Yeah, you haven't seen it. Yeah.
Blood in, Blood Out. You can find it. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's an old movie.
All right, well, let's go 2 more and we're done. Right now is the perfect time to
use me as your real estate agent to buy and sell a property.
There we go.
Hey,
no.
Yeah.
That's not cliche. You could say that. Yeah.
there we
Like,
go.
what did I tell you at the beginning of this? I said there's no wrong answers.
Yeah.
Today is the good day, or right now is the perfect time to
buy or sell real estate with me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
Give
we
yourself
go.
a little plug. Look at that camera and tell them.
Buy or sell real estate. I don't know why I was like throwing my fingers at the camera. Buy or sell real estate with me. I would be happy to help you right now. And if you're just curious, I'm happy to have the conversation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Nice.
Never a wrong time right there. All right. And the advice I would give a new agent.
Hang on. Just take your time with it. You're going to slip, you're going to lose some money, and then you're just going to have to keep going. Surround yourself. Okay, this is the best thing. Surround yourself with agents that you trust. Find a team, find somebody that you can actually work with, and be skeptical of some people trying to sell you things.
Right.
So we're working with a lot of sales agents. So these people, as much as they sell things to their clients, they're going to try to sell things to you.
Yeah.
Everyone has the best leads in the country. Everyone's a top producing agent.
Yeah.
You need to find out someone who's not giving you BS and actually sees something in you and really wants you to succeed.
Yeah. I think go with your gut sometimes.
Go with your gut.
More than none in this industry. Because just sitting here and doing this, how many episodes have we done? I've heard a lot of great advice like that. And it's like you got to take that's that time that you take that leap.
Yeah.
You feel, like you're stuck with one group, or you're stuck in this, job, and you're just like, it's not going to be a good time. It's like, man, if you got the time, you could do it.
Yeah, and if you find a team you have, then you don't like it, switch.
Yeah, switch.
It's not nothing personal. It's not a flaw in your character.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to, like, sometimes, like, that's not your vibe. Maybe you'll work better with these agents. Maybe somebody else can see something in you that these people don't. Keep looking into it, because if you stay complacent in one thing, then that doesn't work. Then eventually it's going to crush you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony, this is probably one of our longest podcasts. It's been
the longest.
Yeah.
Wow.
You setting records.
I love that.
We're setting records in 2023. But it doesn't even feel like we just sat down.
Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with the bathroom break, though, too.
Yeah,
We
still talking.
Damn it. This damn bathroom break. I'm an old man. I was like, I woke up this morning. I was like, hey, let me try something new. I took this thing called colon broom.
Oh, I'm going to try that.
Yeah, this little flush thing, and you just got to pee a little bit more.
Typically, it takes something called Pure for Men, but that's a whole other thing.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So I want you to look in the camera, tell people what's next and where they can find you.
Sweet. Okay. So what's next? We're, between myself and my team, we're trying to make this another record-breaking year, and that's just helping people find a home or sell their property through a recession. There's creative ways we can make that happen, and we're well-equipped to do that. So you can find me on Instagram at Esteban_Valens. And you can also email me at esteban.valenzuela@compass.com. And my number is 619-392-8635.
Perfect. Man, that was professional right there.
There we go.
Dang. All right, Tony, let everybody know where they can find the What's Next podcast and view this one.
Well, guys, you guys can find us in YouTube. You guys also can find us in any podcast platform. You can download the audio from there. You can also find us in TikTok, Instagram. So go and check us out. Leave a comment. Tell Levi, what do you guys want him to talk about? He's the man. So you know where to find us, and just follow us.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Esteban,
Tony.
so much. Next time, I won't take a bathroom break. I'll go to the bathroom before. Tony, take us out, brother.
There we go. Peace.